The other thing we need to talk about is tagging your fire extinguisher. All fire extinguishers need to have a tag. They need to be within date. The tag says that the extinguisher has been, it's upside down. The tag says that the extinguisher has been serviced and is in good condition and ready to be used. What the tag means is that the safety seal is in place. Okay? It means that the nozzle is securely attached. It means that the bracket that secures this to the vehicle or to the wall is in place and securely attached. It also means in the case of a car, in some vehicles you also need to have a fire extinguisher sticker that says you have a fire extinguisher in the car. It's not a requirement for race cars, but it is a requirement for, you know, some rally, you know, the
bashes.
Yeah, the bashes, etc.
Probably mining applications.
Yeah, mining applications. So, yeah, important. Must have a tag, must be in date, extinguisher must be in good condition.
Okay, so let's get on. We've spoken about the brackets. Let's talk about the fire extinguishers themselves.
Okay, so the most important part of a fire extinguisher is the rating that they have.
Can I just, one thing I learned the other day was your description about the different design. Obviously, BCF is no longer available.
No, absolutely, it's illegal now.
What's it called again? What's the proper name for BCF? Bromochlorine fluoride or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're not allowed to use it because it's nasty for the ozone.
It's the old yellow ones.
It was good because it never made a mess when you put the fire out.
It was a vaporizing liquid, but it did make a big ecological problem.
Yeah. So this one is dry powder.
This is dry powder.
You're pointing out the different logos, and some are designed for wood as well as petrol fires and things like that. But of course, in a race car, who cares about wood?
That's right.
Well, this has got a really good stereo in the boot. I mean, we really don't care.
This is an ABE rated extinguisher. The A rating is for wood and paper, which you don't need in a race car. The B rating is for flammable liquids, so petrol, melted plastic, anything that would burn when it's a liquid, and the E is for your electrical. Now these two ratings are ideal for a race car, and in practice it would be great to be able to have a BE rated extinguisher because you don't have any wood or something.
BE only. BE because only. It makes it just a little bit better.
Yes.
Because it doesn't have the additive which puts out the wood fire, but it also doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it means that the powder inside, this powder here is a compromised powder, so it works for all three, but it doesn't work as well on B and E rated fires as a BE powder does. But in reality, these days, it's getting quite hard to find a BE rated extinguisher. All these extinguishers are coming from China, and the ABEs are very popular. The powders have got a lot better in the last few years, but your older ABEs have a standard duty powder. These are all high performance powders, so they'll put out equivalent of twice the size of fire as the old ABEs do.
Okay. All right, so we'll talk about some other particular features. All the fire extinguishers have to have a gauge on the top to indicate to the scrutineer that they're either within pressure and not under pressure, and they've lost their pressure. You want to explain some of those particular points?
So you've got a gauge here which shows minimum pressure, which is your white line, or in some cases it's a black line. There'll be a green area which says it's okay, the fire extinguisher is in working order. However, you always want to have your fire extinguisher above the minimum rating. That way, when you let it off, it's got good pressure to push out. The other key with a fire extinguisher is that, look, you can have this, say, full, but if the powder inside is all clumped up and hard, it won't operate. You'll get a few hundred grams out of the dip tube.
It's good that you point that out because that's a common thing that people forget to obviously stir it up after they've gone. Sitting in a race car, it all packs down, or in a rally car. Yeah. So can you show for people, I mean, is it something that...
Give you a quick rundown. The most important thing, in a vehicle, people think, the car's shaking around and that'll shake it up. But in a car, it's sitting in one direction and all the vibration just forces the powder into a large lump at the bottom. So every 3 months, I suggest in the car, as a minimum, you pull your extinguisher out and you give it what we call a service, okay? So the first thing you need to do is you need to be in a quiet area because you need to be able to hear the powder inside the extinguisher. So the first thing I do is I give it a bit of a shake and I put it up to my ear. And if I can't hear anything, it means all the powder up here is clumped up. So there's a couple of ways you can service it. You either put it upside down, ideally bash it with a rubber hammer, kick it with your foot if you get desperate. And we haven't got a rubber mallet here today, okay? So we're just going to make sure it's all nice and free inside, and then we throw it up to our ear again, and we just listen for the powder to drop. Now, you'll probably hear that if you throw it up. Just wait a couple of seconds, and you can hear it drop. It sounds like the sand's through an hourglass.
I've done that before.
Yeah. So the key is if you put it up to ear, you'll be able to hear the powder falling, and when the powder's falling, you know that the powder inside is free. Put it back in its clip, make sure it's secured properly, and you're good for another couple of months.
All right, so we've spoken about how to service your fire extinguishers. We just go down in size. Now this is the minimum, this is a 1.5 kilo.
This is a 1 kilo. The minimum requirement for a trap.
This is the one that's the minimum requirement.
This is the minimum requirement. Both of these are 1 kilo.
Now you can get smaller, and the requirement is a total of minimum 1 kilo. So you can have 2 smaller ones, can't you?
No, you've got to have an extinguisher that is above 900 grams. Okay, so in some situations in railing you need 2 kilos, so you can have 2 1 kilo extinguishers.
That was what I was thinking of. That's
Yes.
right, because you can put one of these in,
Yes,
or 2 1 kilo ones.
correct. Yep. But this is a minimum requirement. You must have an extinguisher over 900 grams. These are a 1 kilo extinguisher. I wouldn't suggest you use these. I would suggest the minimum 1.5 kilo. And in all my cars, I have a 2.5 kilo. A 2.5 kilo will let you put out an engine fire. A 1 kilo will let you put it out until it reignites.
Yeah. Okay, so there you have it, because we want to keep this short and sweet. For more info on your products, your website, Dean?
Yeah, local fire, www.localfire.com.au.
And for more technical information, of course, you can go to mrtperformance.com.au. You can inquire and post some questions and comments on the forums. There's a whole lot of other videos, audio files and downloads, and it's our aim to bring at least one of these every month for you to help you understand more about looking after your car. I'm Brett Middleton, and this is Dean.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for doing it, and look forward to speaking and talking to you soon.